Well, there was a lot of drama. My daughter could be very explosive, happy 1 minute, and then in the depths of despair the next.
Arguing, fighting, we couldn't talk.
It was about as bad as it could get. We had to call the police out on him a couple of times. He threatened his mother with physical harm. I had to disarm him. He pulled a knife on me. It was just an absolute breakdown.
His self-esteem, I felt, was really low. I felt like he was like on the verge of depression all the time, and we were beginning to wonder if there were drugs involved.
Uncommunicative. He got to the point where, because he's bigger than me, he could just physically, know that he could say, no, I'm not going to do it, and there was no way I could make him.
That she wasn't sure whether or not she might harm herself. And that's kind of what set us up going forward.
So bad that it was kind of dreadful coming home after work, because you knew exactly what was happening at home as soon as you walked in. Our house is just always kind of real chaotic, and there's not really much peaceful time there.
My daughter was involved at that time. She was in high school with gangs, and we didn't know how to deal with that at that time.
I used to think everything I did was wrong, and the only thing that I did right was my job, and I don't want my job to be what I do right. I want my son to be what's right.
I had tried screaming, fighting. I thought I was taking things away and giving consequences, but I really wasn't, now that I've learned how to do it properly.
We did try the communication. We tried to talk to her, because that, in some other instances, some other problems at home did work. This was something, a little more complicated than that.
We've tried timeout. We've tried yelling. We've tried not yelling.
We had tried everything we could get our hands on, and read everything we could get our hands on.
Got to the point that we started therapy, and I actually told the therapist at that time that either my child needed to get on medication or I needed to be placed on medication.
The therapy staff there strongly recommended that we attend the Parent Project, and my husband and I attended together.
One time I was in my son's high school, and Officer Canutton from the Newark Memorial High School, I remember those words very clearly. She said, "Go to this project. It's not for your son, it's for you." And she was right.
When parents come into our class, they're really frustrated and hopeless, and they feel like they've tried everything. And one thing that I think many of our parents end up doing is they get angry and upset at their children because their children are not going to school, or stealing, or being disrespectful. And so the anger comes out, and then the punishment comes. So it's anger and punishment, and then the relationship is hurt through that, because then the parent becomes the bad guy because they're angry and they're taking things away, and the child's not left to just kind of sit with their behaviors and what they've done. So one important concept we teach is we ask parents to never deliver a consequence when they're angry. So we really want them to learn how to calm themselves down and get calm, then come to the teen and say, wow, we need to talk about what happened here.
The Parent Project is really based on 3 ideas, and that is the desire to learn, and then the second part is the tools which we give to the parents, the tools and the knowledge. And then the third part, which really sort of separates this parenting program from any other parenting program that I've been aware of, is the support network.
And also having a space where they can, vent their own problems and probably share some experiences with other parents.
So the teen is able to see that, it makes sense. I break the rules, and I do get a consequence. And we start forming a new structure. We start over.
I would say by the end, our final class, we are usually in tears most of the time with the success stories that happen. And it takes a long time, and there's some fallbacks, and we tell the parents that that's going to happen. There's some phases that they have to go through. But yes, I would say it's very, very successful program.
Now she says, I don't know what I was doing.
He'll come up and just out of nowhere give me a hug, which never happened before. So it's just, I don't know, it's just been a very positive experience. Not that he isn't slipping, but he'll even say, maybe I should get that done because I don't want to lose my stuff.
She's more lighthearted. She laughs now where she didn't used to. She shares things where it used to be we'd ask her how something went. It's okay. That's fine. I don't know. I don't remember. And now she comes to us full of stories and excitement and all a level of enthusiasm and happiness that we didn't see in the past.
Now my son has not been gone overnight for over 8 months now. Occasionally he sneaks out, but he comes back. But compared to, it was almost a daily thing for us that he was out or gone.
He may not like the consequences, but he's really responded well to them, and I think he enjoys or is happy about knowing that he knows what to expect. You're kind of afraid he's going to get stopped by police or he's going to get stopped by somebody. He's just not going to deal with it well, and God knows what's going to happen. And I think he's learned to walk away from trouble. So he tells me, and so I keep hoping. But so far, we've been doing good.
My son is confident, and he has that self-esteem that he didn't have this time last year, that I feel like as parents we've been able to encourage him in a way that helps him to open up. And I think he's, grown a lot even through this, not even knowing really what's hit him.
Yeah, she's doing great right now. She's going to college.
I feel myself more relaxed. I'm having less headaches, believe it or not.
I benefited quite a bit, and just by being able to see how I was acting and listen to other men that were in the class about their experiences, it just helped me change my outlook completely.
Biggest change is the confidence in myself as a parent, where I felt like before I would argue with my son, and that I would just get smaller and smaller. I wouldn't know how to react to him. He would just bully and argue the pointless arguments that I couldn't get out of. And it doesn't happen that often anymore. I have that confidence. I know how to shut it down. I know how to turn it into something constructive.
1 year ago, I feel I cannot help my son. How I can help my son? How to solve the problems? And when I start to go to the Parents Project, so my life changed, because I help my son and I'm happy. Everybody's happy in my family, so thanks to the Parents Project.
Well, this has also made a difference in how my husband and I communicate and how we parent and step-parent.
My wife and I, we look at each other and we say, yes, we did it right.
No child is hopeless if we get the right tools, the right information. And I think this program does offer that information.
First of all, that you're not alone. And there's a lot of us that are going through the exact same thing. So it really helps if you are dealing with a difficult child. I definitely recommend it.
Now, if you're in a crisis situation, you got to know you're not alone. You are not alone. And that the Parent Project can help you get yourself out of that crisis situation. It's hard work, but it's certainly worth it.
This isn't a program just for kids who are in gangs or just involved in drugs and alcohol, that there are other issues that parents and teens struggle with, and it's a resource that is like the best kept secret in Fremont.
The reason I started the Parent Project was for my son, but I continue to come for my daughter because I feel like things with my son have really smoothed out, and my daughter has now become a little more challenging.
Because of this program and the way they helped me, it's made me show him how to be a better parent. So when that time comes for him, he'll know what to do.
It was a life-changing experience for our family.